How are you? My name is Houston and welcome back to another video. I gotta say, there's nothing wrong with taking a break, but it's a break that I didn't really want to take, if that makes sense. So before we get back into Death's Door and I bring up the topic at hand, I got more cadence. This stuff, fantastic. I love it. And it's actually really cool how I got more of it. So I'm going to preface this by saying that I'm probably on my phone a little bit too much. I am working on it. I'm trying to be more cognizant of it. I'm trying not to be like refreshing feeds too often. Like, hey, when stuff's done, if I start to see things I already looked at, then boom, done. So basically, I follow the founder and CEO of Cadence, Ross McKay, on Twitter or X, whatever. I don't care. Fuck Elon Musk. And when I refreshed my feed a couple days ago, Ross tweeted out, hey, first 3 people to DM me their name and address, they get a free ultimate hydration bundle. And I was like, dude, yeah, I want that. And it was tweeted like a minute ago, or God, even less than that maybe. So DM'd him, whatever. Long story short, I was one of the people and I got sent this whole package right here. So isn't that just fantastic? I was actually waiting for a sale so I could order more of the cans because I still have some of the sachets or sachets. I don't even know how to describe or pronounce that word. It's not sachet, it's sachet, which is like the most fucking British word I've ever heard in my life.
Sachet.
Boom. Sachet. Little post-run cadence. I love it. Super salty. All right. To Death's Door. Okay, here we are in the plant area, and I'm fairly certain I ended the last video somewhere like right after this. I'm in my running clothes right now because I just got done with a little 3-mile jaunt. Extremely cool turn of events where my right leg no longer hurts, but now like the front of my left shin is giving me problems. So I'm just more compensation. I'm just chasing the problem all around my body, finding all these crazy imbalances, which is fine. It's just it can be a little bit frustrating at times because it's like, damn, dude, am I ever going to like actually be completely better again? At this point, I'm not really sure if I'm going to be able to run my 1:30 half marathon. I think that I could probably PR. Like, so I would need to run sub 1:39 in order to PR. But yeah, man, I just don't really think it would be best for me to like push myself like crazy if me hitting a PR will result in another injury. The whole reason that I got injured in the first place is because I pushed myself like crazy during my marathon last April, and I don't want to keep being in this injury cycle. It's still crazy to me that I ran a 50-mile ultra marathon and then now here I am only running like 25 miles a week. I mean, this is obviously not what I know I'm fully capable of. So being aware of that, like kind of hyper aware of it, is frustrating. But I think that the only way that I can truly get out of this like a bit of a rut that I'm in, is by taking a full step back and kind of like reassessing my training from the ground up. My time with my coach ends basically in the middle of March, right after my race. So after that, I'm not going to renew anything on the coaching side. I'm probably just going to like try and tackle this stuff by myself. I'm not a coach. I never claimed to be a coach. I think I know a decent amount about my own body and how to, I guess, utilize my full potential, or like find and harness my full potential. Again, I trained myself for that 50-mile ultra and I was super happy with my results from it. And also I didn't like, you know, re-injure myself because I just took it easy, like I told myself I would before I even started the race. I mean, I was nervous about like hurting my knee and stuff like that, but you know, at the end of the day, I think that I just really delivered on what I promised myself. I don't know if I should be like this is the problem. It's like, I don't know if I should like try and tackle this all by myself, but I just feel like maybe that's the right path for me right now. There's a very large part of me that feels like I didn't utilize the coaching to its full potential because I've been injured. So part of me, unfortunately, kind of feels like I just wasted a bunch of money. And that really sucks, dude, because I was under the impression that I would have been able to maybe reach some really fucking high highs by hiring a coach. And obviously, you should temper your expectations and all that stuff. But I truly believe that my potential with having a coach was or would be a lot higher if I wasn't injured. And I'm not saying that because I think that I'm like fucking goated or something. I'm just saying that because I think that I am capable. Like I think that I do have the ability to reach my goals, not be the best in the world, because I'm not trying to be the best. I'm not some elite level athlete, but I do think that I can reach higher highs than I've reached previously. I hope that makes sense and doesn't make me come off like an ass. Anybody that knows me knows that I am always talking about change and like how we can change ourselves, how we can help other people change. In relation to change, I've been thinking more specifically recently about depression and how people can change or how and why people change and why some don't when it comes to being depressed. Depression is obviously a very complicated condition and not exactly something that you can just reduce all the way down to, oh, well, some people change and some people don't. I mean, there's so many factors that go into it. Something that I think a lot of people on the internet miss about depression is the fact that they seem to think that these people aren't changing because they lack the information required to change, when obviously that's not the case. I mean, there's so much information out there and anybody can find all the information that they would need in order to change. But the real question isn't like, why aren't these people changing? It's that, what is it about their environment and what is it about having all this information that still doesn't allow them to act in a way that helps them change? I don't know if this phenomenon has a name or not. I have yet to get that far into the deep dives that I've been doing. That feeling of familiarity that you get when you're depressed, and if you've ever been depressed on any level, then you probably know what this is like. The feeling of comfort that you get. It sucks being sad, but that's what you're used to. So why would you try and change it? Because the change is the hard part. The change, like, even if being happy or experiencing joy would be much better off in the long run, right now, that's so much different than what you're used to that it probably hurts, or it would hurt to experience that. When you sit in that suffering for so long, you start to feel like that's the only way that you can be. It creates this sort of illusion in your head. It tells you the greatest lie of all, which is that you can never be better. We human beings, we love routines, but the problem is that sometimes those routines can be maladaptive. So we get sucked into these choices, these repetitive choices, or we get sucked into these lifestyles that are familiar to us, and it would suck to change. So why would I do that? We all really just want to be happy. We want to feel fulfilled. We want to feel like, our life has meaning. We want to feel like our choices matter. We want to feel like we're contributing. We all want those things, but it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of self-reflection. And I know that not every single person has the time and the ability to self-reflect a ton. And, that's totally understandable. I mean, we live in a culture where there's so much work. There's so many expectations for every single person that it almost feels like even on your best day, you're never going to be able to be the person that other people want you to be, or really be the person that you expect yourself to be. It's a very difficult balance, because I think that, or at least for me, I want to do well. I want to be at least a decent person at the very least. And I just want to help people. And I think that there's a lot of research that backs this up. I talk about the type of person I want to be a lot. And I really do think that just that talking helps reinforce those ideas in my head to the point where it allows me to be that person more often than not. Obviously, you have to have some sort of knowledge about what it takes to be better, before you actually are better. It is extremely important to remember that at some point you're going to have to put those things into practice. And, you know, that's the hard part. The work is the hard part, unfortunately. You know, kind of back to what I was saying at the very beginning. How can we make choices that work for us rather than work against us? What's the thing that separates the people who can change from the people who try and just keep failing over and over again? No matter how uncomfortable it feels to change, no matter how uncomfortable it feels to not be in that rut of depression anymore, the way out is right there. You have to stop thinking of happiness and joy as these things that you'll never experience. I know that's very difficult because, like with smoking cigarettes, for instance, or drinking alcohol, it's a behavior that you're so used to doing that you can't imagine not doing it. It's like not breathing anymore. But I promise you that the answer to all this stuff is outside of your comfort zone. You don't need me to tell you that this stuff is difficult, because I'm sure that it's all you can think about. And I'm not saying you have to fix yourself right this moment or even like this month, but taking small steps to try and be better is really all that you can ask of yourself. And it's okay to, you know, take a couple steps back and then take a step forward, and then maybe take another step forward and then take one step back, and so on and so forth. I'm just trying to come at this from a different angle than I'm used to, because I'm coming at it from a physical point, but maybe you're right there with me, or maybe you are coming at it from more of a mental standpoint. I'm not sure. I don't have all the answers, but my whole thing is being vulnerable and showing people, even, you know, random people, somebody that might come across this video, that it's okay to not have it all figured out. I just turned 30 like 2 months ago, and I definitely don't have it all figured out. If you're 22, 23, scrolling TikTok, scrolling on these sites, watching YouTube videos, and you see someone that's early 20s as well, and they seem to have it all figured out, they don't. The more of us that are honest about the things that we're going through, and honest about upsets and all the valleys we have to go through and the mountains we have to climb, that's what helps us become more connected. That's what helps us get rid of this epidemic of loneliness that we have. That's what helps us understand each other more, and in turn coexist more peacefully. I feel like this video, more than any other one, has been a real yap sesh. So I appreciate you for listening. Seriously, thank you so much. And speaking of all those other platforms, I'm trying to get better at posting on TikTok. I really want to get more of my content out there that combats these ideas about success and about worth and vulnerability and all that onto these short form platforms as well. So I'm doing my best to really like spread myself throughout all these platforms, but sometimes it's difficult to be super consistent with every single one of them. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next one.